Hey guys, Delta here, and let's talk about the PlayStation 4 today. It's been out for nearly a week. I've had mine since launch day. Thank God it came. And this is going to be sort of my review of the console after this first week or thereabouts, which I've been playing nonstop, and honestly my brain is kind of fried right now. So let's start off with, well, not the console itself, but the controller, the brand new controller that comes with it. I'm holding it in my hands right now, and that is the DualShock 4. And the DualShock 4 feels absolutely fantastic. Just from the moment I first held this at PAX back in September, it feels like a huge improvement on the DualShock 3. Familiar, but just way better at the same time. And obviously, it takes some elements of the 360 controller, I think, just in its larger case and size, and its heft. It feels solid. If you watch my unboxing video, I showed that the PS3 controller, the DualShock 3, just kind of felt flimsy and cheap and light. Which the light controller was nice for a while, but it breaks easily. This just feels solid. It doesn't feel like a toy. It feels like a good piece of technology that is going to last me a good long time. The touchpad on it, honestly, it feels nice. It's really easy to use. It doesn't feel intrusive. It's not clunky or anything. It hasn't been used much in games. I only have Killzone Shadowfall, which uses it for the owl controls in single player, and those are pretty cool. And then in multiplayer, you just tap it to bring up the scoreboard, which is really easy to do. So not much to really say about that right now. The analog sticks and triggers are a huge improvement in my opinion. Like there's the dead zone is pretty much zero on the analog sticks now. It feels great aiming with them. Killzone Shadowfall, the game that I've been playing a lot, the game that you're seeing on screen right now, this is a game that has no aim assist. So it's a huge thing that you need very accurate sticks to have a first-person shooter on console that does not have aim assist. And then the triggers are fantastic. I like them more than the 360 triggers because those things are they're very thin. These ones are really nice. They're not convex like the PS3 where you could put the controller down and accidentally like hit the trigger and do something. They're concave. They're it's nice. They really do feel nice. I love them. This is probably my favorite gaming controller I've ever held. The 360 controller, honestly, I like the bigger size of it compared to the DualShock 3, but my hands would cramp up when I was using that. This thing it feels familiar and so much better at the same time. Now, the PS4 itself, it looks awesome. I love the angled design of it. And overall, it's really reminiscent of the PS2 Slimline for me, which in my opinion is the greatest console ever made, just in terms of the games and everything that was on there, and the fact that it was this little thing that was like barely bigger than the size of my hand now, that I could take around really anywhere. It was a really portable console. Like whenever I was going to my grandparents, I'd bring that along with me just because of that. And it doesn't stand out like a sore thumb in your entertainment center or whatever. Like the spot that I keep all my consoles and all that stuff, it's black, so it blends in well. It's there, you can see it, but it doesn't stand out like crazy. And it's amazing how small it actually is. It's about the same size as my PS3 Slim, if not a bit smaller. Like, how are they going to make a slim model of this thing? And it runs really quietly, except for startup and shutting down, where I think it's the Blu-ray drive kind of makes a bit of noise. But other than that, or maybe it's the hard drive. It's probably the hard drive, actually. But other than that, it runs, it does not make much of a sound at all. There's a little light whirring that you can hear, but when I have like the fan on the gas fireplace on down here, you don't hear a thing. It's awesome. So the new user interface. I'm stumbling over my words. Like I said, my brain is fried. The new user interface, which I believe they call it the PlayStation Dynamic Menu. F that. It's the XMB. It's the cross media bar. Honestly, it's fast. It's fast. It's slick, and it's a huge upgrade over the previous XMB. It can be a little bit confusing at times, learning where things are now. But I think that's going to happen anytime you have a new user interface after having the same thing for 7-8 years. So, people who have the PS4, like me, will figure this out with time. But for the most part, it's really intuitive. It's fantastic. The only thing that might bother me is on like the main page. There's no way to order your games right now, because it's just done in or applications in general. It's just done in whatever has been used most recently, which could become an issue if you're someone that goes all digital and wants to have all your games on there, because you could get like a massive list. And hopefully they add in a way to organize things. That'd be fantastic. That'd be a huge addition, something I think it will need as time goes on. There's really no slowdown with the user interface. It happens occasionally when you are running a game in the background. So if I'm playing Killzone and hop in the menus and try and screw around with settings, console settings, it'll slow down a bit when loading. And to be honest, I think that's to be expected because you are running this massive game there. Would I like that to not be an issue? Of course, but that's what happens. Another big thing is the PlayStation Store. It looks exactly the same as it does on the PS3 right now. This new design they brought in. Was it earlier this year? I think it was earlier this year. I'm losing track of time. Holy crap. That's not good. Anyways, it looks exactly the same as it does on the PS3, but it runs so much better. It's so smooth. Everything happens almost instantaneously, and it's fantastic. I loved the visual design of the store when they brought it into the PS3, but I just hated the fact that it didn't work. It just did not work, but now it does. It's very clear that this was designed with the PlayStation 4 in mind, but they wanted to have, I guess, a unified platform between the PS4, the PS3, and I'm assuming the Vita. I don't know what the store looks like on the Vita. Quickly jumping between applications is fantastic. One of my favorite things to do is, like when I'm trophy hunting, because that's what I do a lot of the time, I can open up the trophy list, have that as one of the apps I've had open most recently, then open a game up, and then you can switch between the last two apps you use by double tapping the PlayStation button. That is fantastic, because like I was saying, when you're trophy hunting, you could be playing a game, get to a point, say, okay, what trophy do I need to get next? Double tap the PlayStation button, rather than have to sift through menus to get there, you jump straight over to the trophy list for that game, because you can set it up that way, or you can have it set to Netflix is the other application that's going. It's really cool, it's a neat feature. And I honestly, I don't think I could go back to the PS3 without it because it is that good. Really, there's a lot about the PS4 right now, especially the controller, that I think I would have a hard time going back to the PS3, which I'm sure I will at some point. There's a lot of games I haven't completed there. But it is fantastic. And probably my favorite feature on the PlayStation 4 is the share button on the controller, and just all the functionality that comes with it. I love the social media integration as a whole into the profiles. I love that I have my PlayStation profile now with my name and like my Facebook photo rather than, you know, a generic avatar that anyone can use. And being able to have, you know, do real name stuff is nice for people that I know, being able to be on a first name basis rather than going by online handles. Unless, of course, I want to go with online handles. It's just a nice option to have. I really like how the profiles look now. They were very bare bones on the PS3. But back to the share button, I'm rambling. I love being able to share screenshots. I love just being able to quickly, like I'm playing, I see something cool, tap share, it's there, then I can hold the button down to open up the share menu, and then tweet it out, post it on Facebook. If you follow me on Twitter, you've probably been seeing that a lot lately the last week, me just putting out pictures of Killzone especially. And I've been uploading clips to Facebook. I normally don't like talk a ton about games on my personal Facebook page, but it's been all PS4 lately. So yeah, I kind of feel bad because it feels like I'm rubbing it in the faces of people that don't have the console a bit, but yeah. Anyways, I love that. Of course, the built-in streaming isn't bug-free right now. It's working on most games, but for whatever reason with Killzone and Shadowfall, the multiplayer, it errors out after about 10 minutes. Single player is fine, and a lot of people are having this issue, so it sounds like an issue with the game itself, though I've heard some people having issues with knack. You know, it's launch, things don't work perfectly at launch. It's a great feature that I will make use of, and you know, I'm sure as it stabilizes and as the PS4 gets older and more stuff gets added in, it will become a fantastic feature. And right now it's a feature that it has that the Xbox One doesn't, which I think is a huge plus in favor of the PS4. And of course, as I mentioned, sharing gameplay, it's a really cool thing to do. You know, I like being able to, like, I can't record. I'm not set up to record capture like I normally would, but I can you know, I can be playing the game and, you know, I get a really cool kill. Like, I did this yesterday. I dropped, like, 30 feet down on top of a guy for a death from above melee kill in Killzone. And, like, that's awesome to be able to just, like, quickly hit the share button, send that little clip off to Facebook. It's really awesome. And then, of course, it's a games console. Let's talk about the games, because that is, really, that's what it comes down to. The launch lineup is not amazing. There's a lot of good third-party, multi-platform stuff that's going to be available on both consoles. Assassin's Creed, Battlefield, Call of Duty, Need for Speed, stuff like that. But with the PS4, it's lacking in terms of exclusives. I mean, Infamous, it was never going to be a launch title from what I've heard, and it's releasing in March. Drive Club was pushed back into early 2014. So really, you just have Killzone, Knack, and Resogun. I haven't played Knack, but most people I know who have played it say it's really fun. And I want to check it out at some point, if only for nostalgia's sake. It reminds me of the old platformers I grew up on, like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro the Dragon. But I think the real two standouts are Killzone and Resogun. Resogun is insanely addicting and fun, and, you know, it's just a classic arcade twin-stick shooter. It's easy to pick up and play, but also challenging at the same time. It's really fun. You get hooked on it really easy. It's like, I think it's Geometry Wars is what it was called on the 360 back when that launched. It's kind of like that, but for the PS4. And of course you have Killzone Shadowfall, a game I really liked. The reviews have been a little all over the place. I think some reviewers have been overly critical of the game. But I love the multiplayer. It feels like Killzone 2 again. But also, it feels fresh and new. It's faster paced. I guess you could say it is a little more like Call of Duty compared to Killzone 2, where it's not weighted down as much. The maps aren't as big. You don't have as many players, and it's a little more close quarters. But for the most part, I think it's fantastic. I love the map design, the classes. I just think it's a really good game, and if you enjoy first-person shooters, I think you'll enjoy it. Playing that game running at 60 frames per second is amazing. It is gorgeous. It really is. I usually play on a smaller 32-inch TV that I have on my desk, but a lot of the time I have to flip this over to the big screen just to truly enjoy it, because it is an absolutely gorgeous looking game. And of course, in addition to your standard on-disc titles, there's a lot of free-to-play selections. A lot of stuff that you get Resogun and Contrast with PlayStation Plus, which you will want to buy because it is amazing, but you also need it to play online on the PS4. But there's a lot of free-to-play selections. You got Blacklight Retribution, Warframe. I've played Blacklight on PC. I haven't gotten it up and running on PS4 yet, but it's a good solid shooter. It's fun. It's fast. Warframe, you know, a lot of people are liking it. I'm not huge on it. You've also got DC Universe Online and a bunch of other games. So there is a good selection of stuff. And I'm really excited to see what is coming next year. I mean, you got Drive Club and Infamous in the first few months. The Order's coming at some point. They got a whole bunch of other stuff that hasn't been announced. And then in terms of multi-platforms, you got Watch Dogs, Metal Gear Solid 5. It's going to be a good year, and I think 2014, especially in terms of games, is when we're really going to see things kick off in terms of next generation. So I'm really excited to see where things go. Overall, I really do like the PlayStation 4. It's probably my favorite console I've owned. It's the first console I've owned at launch. I love the controller. I love the design of the box itself. I love the functionality that's in there, and I can't wait to see as it is progressed and improved upon. I can't really say rank it up against the Xbox One because I don't have an Xbox One. I personally think it's a better console for me than the Xbox One is. But, you know, everyone has their own taste, their own things they want out of a console. But for me, this is something I'm buying to last me for the next 8 to 10 years or thereabouts. So it's to get it $100 cheaper and get a console that has the franchises that I've grown up with, that I care about, and that is more powerful than its competitors. It really is a no-brainer to me. So anyways, those are my thoughts on the PlayStation 4 after a week of having this monster on my rig, my gaming setup. I don't know what you want to call it. If you have a PS4, you know, share your thoughts in the comment section below. Let's talk. Let's hear what everyone thinks about it. If you're getting an Xbox One, let's talk about that as well. If you're on the fence, let's talk about that. Let's just talk. That's what the comment section is for. I try to respond to all comments, even the stupid ones. Though you might get a little snarky remark if you leave a stupid comment. Depends on how I'm feeling that day. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed me rambling on here. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Share it around. It really does help. I'm serious. It really does help help the channel grow and all that stuff, and it's fantastic when you guys do. I love it. That's it. Thanks for watching, and I'm gonna go back and play some PS4. See ya.